Okay, let me see, something like this. Enormous roll top. The Toccata in D minor by Bach.
I always dreamt to meet a real organist, somebody that I could really talk to.
Well, I met Manon. We have a slightly different remembrance of how it was, and I'm probably not alone in that.
If you ask him, I think he will tell you a different story than I.
But I believe we met in New York, for sure. I don't know for sure.
I heard about this crazy organist. That's the way he was introduced to me. And that's where my story between Albinas and I started.
I heard the name, and I was very taken by the name, because I always thought Manon was a beautiful name.
I would expect it's me who called first. Yeah, I have no trouble to call people.
Manon says we talked on the phone a lot before we actually touched base, but I don't remember precisely if all these phone calls were after we met or before.
We spoke at least once a week, if maybe not even more, for 3 months.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot of talking.
Well, he doesn't seem to remember that.
She was with some mutual acquaintances and what have you. I think we were on the way to some ballet.
Now, when you ask Albinas how did we met, he keeps on saying that we met at a ballet. The ballet came later.
Okay, well, maybe so. Like I did a concert at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City.
That was on January 23rd, 1972.
I would say about 71, 72.
So I went with 3 roses.
And she came with a bouquet of flowers, you know.
I had come by myself. There was also 2 seemed to be girlfriends.
Actually, when I first met her, I did already have a girlfriend. This is very confusing to me, the time frame, you know.
And I saw this man with long hair, a hearing, and eyes that I remember looked like the Baltic Sea.
Beautiful person, you know. And I guess that was the first thing, you know. Extraordinarily French, you know.
Somebody decided, let's all go to have a coffee somewhere.
Yeah. And
I could see that the girlfriend was not too happy with me around. I was discreetly going to leave, and then Albina said, no, stay with us.
But
his girlfriend started to walk back, facing us, and saying, I am leaving. What to do? And Albinas, very at ease, said, okay, if you are leaving, goodbye. Yes, she didn't bring roses. So that's maybe why she felt, what is this lady bringing roses, you know?
I gave her up for Manon.
we spent the night together talking and going through music and art and discussing this and that.
And that may have been like a first date.
So that's really how we started.
She needed me, I guess, and I needed her or something like that.
And from that on, we became friends. And I would say then, amant.
In the 1980s, we had problems with the old organ. It would have situations where the stops would stick. And when we called in the organ tuner, he said that the work that he could do was not going to be good enough to bring it up to standard, and that we should consider looking for a new organ.
The organ is 3 stories of pipes. It has 5,000 pipes.
The average organ has 2,000 pipes.
There's roughly 66 keys on each keyboard times 4 keyboards.
The average organ has 2 or 3.
Plus the pedal board, I think it's 32 notes in the pedal board, 57 stops. Yeah, there's a lot of pipes in there, and they're tightly packed. Some of them are very difficult to reach, to tune. The installation of the organ was a huge event.
They came with 3 truckloads, huge truckloads of materials to use in building the organ. And then the whole congregation marched out to the trucks, and they started unloading the trucks, one piece at a time and one group of people at a time. And
they brought the organ in, pipe by pipe. The entire church was strewn with pipes, because there's a lot of organ back there. It's hard to tell how massive it is.
The organ installation took 6 months with 12 workers who worked 12-hour days for 6 months.
And finally, with great anticipation and excitement, the community heard the organ's beautiful voice during the dedicatory recital.
The organ is not just the church. It is the orchestra of all these different sounds that becomes your friend, that can be playing blues and jazz and rock, not just classical, but all styles of music.
The one we have here is excellent. Trinity Church has been the greatest gift my life could have ever had. I just, to this day, that instrument, it's almost wrong, my feeling to this organ.
It's a friend that is between us, not between us, with us. I mean, I say between because, you know, you have the organ, you have Manon, you have Albinas, well.
One note on the organ is better than 1,000 notes on any other instrument. It's almost alive. It's almost a living thing. It's almost, you know, a person. It's almost a girlfriend. I look after it. We come up here, and you know, it's rare that 2 weeks go by without having to come up here.
It's the way it comes out to your heart. That is very, very important to me.
The physical and emotional involvement with the organ is boundless. It's been a wonderful, wonderful thing. Just crazy about it. Crazy. I love the organ.
It's one of the how should you say, highlights of the season. Everybody talks about Bach Around the Clock and everybody looks forward to it.
You know, that you would do a 29-hour constant music festival with concerts that never stop is exhausting to think about.
Probably anyone else who you tell about this who's like not immersed in it would be like, that's crazy.
It's like playing in a dream. You're waking up and you're half asleep. You're not sure if there are people sleeping in the audience. So it's kind of this dream. It's kind of like playing for someone's dream.
So it started with just this idea, well, we start during midnight and we go all the way till the midnight.
It always seemed like a pretty reasonable idea and a fun kind of endurance event for all of us.
I do Bach Around the Clock because I have a passion to get people together. I love to see people being happy coming to an event.
So like my mom and my dad have been a perfect pair in their skills and I think what they enjoy. And that my dad, his craft is the music, and that's always been his thing. And my mom's craft, I guess, as you could put it, is people. And she is just always, she's like loved, she speaks people's language. She will engage with you, and as shortly after meeting you, it seems like the next thing you know, you're telling her your life story, or talking about this or that.
You know, the whole, she would call me, "Bonjour, Elise. Comment ça va?" And then I say, "Oh, okay. Ça va bien," or whatever. And it's just a treat to know both of them.
She is the heart and soul of the whole thing that we do here. The heart and soul of Bach Around the Clock. She is also the scheduler. She's also the one who fills in the roster. She's also the one who decides who plays where. She's the one who juggles the schedule.
We are the Trinity in Bach Around the Clock, with everybody else surrounding us, helping us. But the three musketeers are very important. You sleep with it, you dream about it, you eat with it, and because you have to make a lot of phone calls. Look, of course I want to leave a message.
To nurture the soul of the community. That is something that we cannot underestimate.
So, and Trinity Music Series has been that sort of apostolic march out to, this is our offering. And we've done that largely on the backs of Albinas and Manon. They've led the way for us.
The contributions that they make with the activities that they have through the church is beyond ordinary praise. To really have Albinas and Manon in the city doing the things that they're doing.
I am determined until I fall on the floor to be there for Bach Around the Clock.
Every Bach Around the Clock is the last time. I've always looked at it that this is going to be the last one. But I'm not sure if that's a healthy or good attitude.
The Trinity Music Series and Bach Around the Clock and these things which we hold so dear, how do they outlive? How do they become a legacy rather than just the offering and the gift of a particular couple in time? That scares the hell out of me.
So Trinity is really a place where I feel that the three of us, the two Albinas and the little Manon, have grown to do some great stuff, I must say. And I have learned to to love other people, to offer to people a place safe and welcoming, of course, and have offered lots of energy to be able to produce more. But it's like a fire that will never stop burning, but a good fire, a fire that lights your soul, to be happy, to know each other.